Hello everyone, Razorblade Mango here. For this video, I originally had a different, much more narrow idea of what I was going to talk about. The old idea for this video was going to be me talking about The Elder Scrolls 6, a game that, in theory, I should be very excited about, considering my long history with Bethesda going back many years ago to like the original Xbox days with Morrowind. But the more I thought about it, I wanted to, rather than talking about why I'm not particularly looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6, I instead wanted to talk more generally about Bethesda, and in a way, you can basically call this a sequel to a video I made a very long time ago called Bethesda Needs a Serious Reality Check. And I think that was made, if I remember correctly, during a time even before they started their big live service explosion, the weird live service push that they had at the end of the 2010s. And then, of course, they were acquired by Microsoft in 2020. And then they have kind of proceeded from there. They've had more games come out under their publishing arm. And then the only other new thing that they had ever since, and I'm talking about Bethesda Softworks, the game studios within Bethesda as the publisher. The only game that has come out recently from them was Starfield. And it was so thoroughly underwhelming and disappointing that I think for a lot of people who, like myself, and this is something I'm willing to admit, people like myself who gave Bethesda slack for many years, even back in the days when they were releasing broken shit like the Skyrim for PS3, they'd have bugs in Fallout 4 all the time. I'm one of those people that was willing to give them a pass. Do I feel great that I gave them a pass with hindsight? Not really, but hindsight is 2020. And back then, in the moment during those years, those deeply formative years where I spent hundreds of hours playing Oblivion and Skyrim in particular, and I loved Morrowind, I love Fallout 3. You guys gotta understand, Bethesda is one of those studios that played such a pivotal role in shaping my identity as a gamer. And they are one of those studios that, without them, I don't think this channel would exist. Just gonna throw that out there. This is one of those studios in my mind, and that makes it all the more painful now to see where they are nowadays and feel very little enthusiasm for their future, and that future including the sequel to Skyrim, one of my all-time favorite games. And the reason that this is now going to be more generally about Bethesda rather than The Elder Scrolls 6, and I'll probably mention Elder Scrolls 6 here and there, is also inspired by just how recently they have been behaving and talking. And also, this video was going to get made at some point anyway, but it got fast-tracked because of a recent game that I played that reminds me a lot of the glory days when I played Oblivion when they were at their best, except even with this game, it's a much more advanced version of what they used to do and what they used to be really good at. And that would be Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I recently picked up because it was $30 on Amazon. And after hearing for almost a year now how amazing and immersive and deep of an RPG it is, and how much it's basically like Bethesda game, except it's like really great, and the like tons of choice and consequences and freedom and stuff like that. I picked it up finally because I had to see what all the hype was about, and I have been floored by what Warhorse Studio has been able to do with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This is one of those games that makes me go over and over again, I can't believe this game actually thought of this, where you're in a situation and you think of an idea that you want to test and see if the game will actually respond in kind and acknowledge you coming up with a very creative way to handle a side mission or a main story quest. And this is a game that does that. It is very reactive in that way. It has a ton of hidden systems within guards interacting with you and how the town interacts with you and how you have to take care of your equipment and learning when to travel. And those are just a few of the many systems that are in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And if you're somebody like me, who, when I play one of these games, I love doing the persuasion skill check stuff. This game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, is just incredible when it comes to that specific aspect that I love about RPGs, or these kind of RPGs that Bethesda used to be really good at. What's so funny is that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is so good that it made me mad. It made me think, wow, this game is so good that it makes me never want to play another Bethesda game again from them in the future. Now, I will gladly go back and play Oblivion. I'll gladly go back and play Fallout 3. I'll gladly go back and play Skyrim, Morrowind. I have very deeply rooted nostalgic feelings towards those games. And despite the numerous problems that they have, flaws and all, I still love them. But even I must admit, that is not at all how I have recently been judging their games, and how I'm not going to give them any more slack. I'm really not, because what bothers me a lot about Bethesda is just how arrogant they are. They are so cocky and arrogant, and they act like it's still 2011 and they are the hottest shit, but they have been lapped multiple times at their own game by multiple studios at this point, like Larian with Baldur's Gate 3, CDPR with The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk, and more recently, like I said, Warhorse with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I find it just infuriating anytime I watch from the sidelines as they wheel out Todd Howard or Emil Pagliaro or whatever the fuck his last name is, or one of these people from Bethesda, and they sound so cocky and arrogant about the obvious problems at that studio and the obvious QA problems that they have. I think something that is very emblematic of Bethesda's total just complete willful ignorance and arrogance is that they released a next-gen update for Fallout 4 back in 2024, and it was released all fucked up in typical Bethesda fashion. And then a year later, they released an anniversary update for Fallout 4 and fucked it up again. And then they had to go, you know what? We have to do a patch roadmap for Fallout 4. At the time the anniversary edition came out, a 10-year-old game that was already a patched version of a year-old next-gen update that was fucked when that came out, and then they fucked it up again last year, and it's still all fucked up because Bethesda's QA is some of the worst in this industry. And they have the nerve, the absolute fucking infuriating nerve to just act like they are still the top shit. That no one else is beating them at their own game. They live in this isolated little island where they think Skyrim was like yesterday. And they still think people are running, like many more people than now are running defense for their bullshit. No, I'm sorry. Not 2011 anymore. It's not 2015 anymore, because even back then with Fallout 4, I gave it a little bit of grace, probably to my regret, more than I should have, much more than I should have. But my guy, it is not 2011 anymore. It's not 2015 anymore. It is 2026. You are not the hot shit you once were. Clearly, even if Starfield was bug-free, and it was not at all bug-free, let me tell you, that still would not be enough to get you back into my good graces. Because when I play a game like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I see what Warhorse is able to do without the backing of a company like Microsoft, which again, what the fuck is your excuse that you're releasing your games all screwed up and you're under the umbrella of Microsoft? I look at what Warhorse was able to do with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, both from a creative and technical standpoint. It is like the scene in Captain America Winter Soldier in the beginning when he's running around running around Falcon at the beginning, saying on your left and just running past him. That is Warhorse to Bethesda. Bethesda is Falcon just running all normal, thinking, it's still 2011. We just released Skyrim. Everybody loves it. Yeah, it's all fucked up on PS3 and has many, many game-breaking bugs. But hey, we're Bethesda. Everybody loves it. And here comes Warhorse on their left. Move, bitch! And they just run past them over and over and over and over and over again. I can't imagine a reality where Bethesda releases Elder Scrolls 6 and it's like 1/10 as deep and mechanically rich as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is. I can't see it. Not from how Bethesda talks, not from how Bethesda behaves, not from their design decisions in Starfield and Fallout 4. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Because Bethesda, again, they are so arrogant, and even when they get pushback, they act like it's not us, it's you. When they did criticism on Starfield, especially on the Steam reviews, and they had Todd Howard come out and go, well, we're sorry you're bored, but when the astronauts were on the moon, unironically he's saying this, by the way, when the astronauts went to the moon, they weren't bored, so clearly it's you that's the problem. Bitch, do I really need to spell out how insanely fucking stupid that response is? Like, who wrote that response to you for you to use? Did somebody at Microsoft write that PR response? But no, it's you. It's you. It's not us. It's you. You're the problem. You're the one that keeps releasing fucked up patches. You're the one that pushes out Creation Club that I'm so sorry. Let me, I can't get on my knees and apologize because you wouldn't be able to hear me, but I'm issuing a sincere apology for that video. I'm not going to remove it. I want that as like a forever mistake that I made. I want that out there for people to see because I can make mistakes too. There was a video that I made a long time ago where I defended the Bethesda Creation Club, where they brought out basically like paid mods, and they're basically like microtransactions at this point after Fallout 76, and they're starting to fucking shove them into every game now. They have to retroactively shove them into Fallout 4 and it breaks the fucking game. They have to put them in Starfield. I'm sorry I ever defended them. I'm really sorry. I am very sorry for that video because Bethesda saw my they didn't see my video, but that in that spirit, they saw people giving them slack for that, and they went, give us an inch, we're gonna take it a fucking mile, and that's what they always do. Every time Bethesda gets a minute amount of leeway, like when Starfield came out, you had these critics praising it as the next big thing from Bethesda, a 10 out of 10 experience. Some critics did give it a 10 out of 10, or a 4 out of 4, or an A, or whatever the hell you want to do, however many stars you want to give it. And Bethesda saw that and said, there you go, that's our proof that it's not us, it's you. It's you guys complaining about how boring it is to traverse Starfield's procedurally generated planets. This is a you thing, not an us thing, it's a you thing. And their reception to feedback is so closed off. It's like thick lead walls between them and the audience and how they take feedback into consideration and process it. And the only reason they had to come out and apologize for Fallout 76 is because it was so fucked up, far beyond what even they could defend, that they had to come out and acknowledge it. Todd Howard had to come out on stage and go, sometimes it doesn't just work. And then everybody in the audience chuckles. They go, oh, that's that Todd bullshitting me. Oh, he's so silly. That Todd Howard. Oh, Todd, you scamp. Oh. No, I'm tired of it. I'm sick to death of this. I'm sick to death of them releasing. I was sick to death of it many years ago, but I'm almost as annoyed as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 makes me when I think about Bethesda. I'm grateful that it exists because this is a game that it's like, I don't need Elder Scrolls 6 anymore. You know, I'll more than likely play Elder Scrolls 6 when it comes out, just out of sheer curiosity, and it will probably be all fucked up at launch, knowing Bethesda. But if it comes out and it's greatly disappointing, like I think it's going to be, I can still pull out my copy of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, look at it and go, I have you now. I'm Andy from Toy Story 2, dropping Bethesda in the trash. Like, I don't want to play with you anymore. And it's Elder Scrolls 6 going in the fucking dumpster, and I'm holding Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and some of the other, Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is not as deep as Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is, and that game still runs laps around Starfield and Fallout 4 recently, as far as depth and RPG systems go. It is embarrassing at this point, just how far behind the times Bethesda is, and just how fucking broken their feedback loop is internally. It's painful to see, guys. Like, it is painful to watch. I make fun of people like Tetsuya Nomura and how, I think there are definitely issues with the way he runs his team at Square Enix and his decisions with the Kingdom Hearts series. I always gotta tie back to Kingdom Hearts. It's what I do, people. It's why you're here on the channel, damn it. But I have never seen Tetsuya Nomura behave the way towards his fans, the way Todd Howard and the people at Bethesda do, the higher-ups, the people that are the faces of the company do. I have never, ever, ever seen that before from Nomura. You know what happened when people really, again, rightfully criticized Kingdom Hearts 3 for not having many Final Fantasy characters in it, and he only had to put them in the Hollow Bastion Restoration Committee in the Remind DLC? Did Nomura go, it's not me, it's you? Final Fantasy is outdated. We don't need Final Fantasy anymore. No, he didn't say any of that shit. You know what he said? He said, wow, I was really surprised by the criticism. I will take that into consideration for Kingdom Hearts 4, and I will try to find a more balanced approach to where we have better Final Fantasy representation in Kingdom Hearts 4. Now, that remains to be seen, whether or not he's gonna have that in Kingdom Hearts 4. But the fact that he didn't go, get over it, nerds, Final Fantasy 7 is outdated, go back to the 90s. He didn't say any shit like that to his fans. Meanwhile, you have Bethesda plugging their fingers in their ears going, I can't hear what y'all are saying. I can't hear the complaints from even casual fans nowadays. Now it's gotten so bad that even the casual fans, it's like, ugh. Because Starfield was not the success that Bethesda wanted it to be. And I don't give a shit how many people come out and try to say, Starfield 2.0, baby, that's coming out. It's going to be on PS5. It'll save Starfield. I will be bewildered. I will be impressed if Starfield 2.0 comes out and it's not fucked up to shit with bugs. Because they can't even patch Fallout 4 properly. How are you going to fix Starfield, a game that was already buggy as shit? And now you're going to bring even more systems into it, and you're going to add more content to it, and you're telling me that Bethesda's QA department is good enough to where they're QA testing Fallout 4 as well as Starfield 2.0, and that's going to come out better than Fallout 4's next-gen experience? And the patch that came out that added Creation Club, the anniversary update last year? I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. No. It's like, no. No. So, anyway, in conclusion to this long rant about Bethesda and how annoyed I am with them and how frustrated I am and how angry I am, again, it's one thing for me to hate a game or I hate a team right off the bat. Like, I don't want to fuck with them. I hate them. Like, I wear my hatred for Ubisoft as a publisher on my sleeve. It's another thing entirely, and I would say it's worse for me to just rightfully shit on a studio, a company that I did love, that it's not only that I love, but is formative to my experiences as a gamer. The last thing I want to say before I end this rant, I would encourage you all, just because he unlisted it, so I'll put the link in the description. I hope it works. But there's a video from the famous YouTuber Krobycat. I don't know why it's unlisted, but he made this video when Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remake came out last year. And that's another one that's all fucked up that will probably never get fixed. But he made a video kind of talking about the soul of what Bethesda used to be And it was made up of clips from a really good behind the scenes documentary around the time that Oblivion first came out, where you see people at Bethesda at the time who no longer work there, a lot of them no longer work there, talk about how they really care about the various textures of buildings and bricked roads, that they go out and explore actual real life locations, and they go out and wander in the forest and look at the leaves and say, this is a really nice shade of green, and I want like a very specific type of green and comfy silence and solitude, talking very passionately and lovingly about the craft of this game in a very honest and open way. I'm sure there are people walking outside and taking pictures of shit, but it's very clearly not like that anymore, where the most important element of a Bethesda game was the ambiance, it was the soul, it was the immersion. That is why, despite how fucked up Oblivion is with bugs, despite how fucked up Skyrim is with bugs, I still go back into those games even today, because I just want to sit in that world and take it all in, because of how obviously lovingly crafted those games are. That is not a feeling that I got with Starfield whatsoever. Those people that made those Bethesda games what they are long gone. Bethesda is not that company anymore. They are far worse than they used to be. That's it from me. That is my passionate, angry rant about Bethesda. If you haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I highly recommend it, especially if you're somebody like me who feels like a refugee from the Bethesda days that is looking for an advanced experience like what they used to offer. I can't recommend Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 enough. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.